Good evening. We'll start the press conference now. If you could identify which organisation you're from. Hi. We're on Onda Cero. What can I ask? Just you tell us what's happened. What can we ask you? We thought we'd seen everything in the Champions League, but now we see a game like this. I think what happened was we suffered early on, made it hard for us right at the beginning of the game. You can't start games like that. We know that they start strongly normally. Fortunately, what always happens with our team, quite often it happens anyway. We kept our heads, we kept cool, and gradually we got ourselves back into the game and showed our quality that we've got. We were very effective in front of goal. When we managed to get away from Liverpool's pressure and break out from their pressure, we managed to gradually get ourselves back into the game. We improved our defensive aspect of our game in comparison with previous games, because in the first half we suffered a lot of pressure from Liverpool. We gradually managed to get the ball out of defence. Their players up front were very dangerous, and our players were very, very accurate in front of goal tonight as well. Karim and Vinicius were very alert tonight. If I'm not wrong, after the final in Saint-Denis, you said that you'd imagined the game pretty much how it took place in Paris. Did you imagine a game like tonight and what's happened tonight? Such an historic night. It would have been difficult to predict this, I'm sure. I'm pleased that we managed to put out a lineup that could deliver a performance like this, and it was more of an open game than the final. And I think it was important to score here because it's a two-legged tie, not just a one-off final. We gambled on that. We wanted to try and be strong up front with a forward line that would give us a chance of scoring. Obviously, our front guys up front are dangerous. Rodrigo was fantastic. He put in a good defensive shift as well, tackling back. We hoped that the game would be open, and we picked a team for an open game. Do you think Madrid now have earned the title to be a stronger favourite to win the whole competition than they were yesterday? We've taken an advantage in the tie in this first 90 minutes, and we now have to manage and control the second half of the game, see what happens in Madrid. Liverpool is a very competitive team. They created a lot of problems for us at the start of the game, so we have to think the same over there. We're going to have to go through difficult periods of the game in the return leg. It's not all over. Unfortunately, I can't say that the tie's decided yet. Given the stadium, the moment, the Champions League, the event, we've not played for a while in the Bernabeu in the Champions League, but is this the most spectacular away victory that you've known as a manager of Madrid? Yeah, winning here is never easy, of course. And in such a decisive manner and uncomplicated way in the second half. We're very, very happy with our performance and how it's gone. And because the team have shown that it's improving all the time, and, you know, we've come through a complicated test, a difficult period in February and January after the World Cup. And we've got to a period now where you need to be totally on form because it's a long season. We're satisfied for today, and we trust that we can continue to perform well. Hi, Carlo. ABC Radio. We'll be talking about Vinicius, Benzema, de Valverde, but I want to talk about a player, Nacho. He came on in the 30th minute, and from then he was controlling his side of the field quite well, because Liverpool have been causing problems for Alaba. Do you think that he managed to slow down Salah? And Nacho has a big impact defensively. Salah disappeared once Nacho had come on, and that danger disappeared. Well, yeah. I think the problem that we had at the beginning of the game on the left side was because in the first half I said to Luca to press onto Fabinho more, so that left a little bit of a gap down the side of Alaba. In the second half, we had Valverde who was helping out more, and Nacho basically fulfilled his job in every aspect. Nacho always does a good job on that left-hand side. He has a game intelligence, he's a bright footballer, he's got a good defensive positional sense as well. Not unlike many players. In the second half, he helped us to see out the game as well, Nacho. I'd like to ask you about Vinicius. Klopp said yesterday he's a legend of Real Madrid, even now. Where would you put him? What sort of category would you put Vinicius in after the game he's put in today? Vinicius, right now, in my personal opinion, is the most decisive player in world football. The man who can make the biggest difference. And if he keeps this consistency and never stopping, how he fights, how he tries to win the ball back, how he creates problems, runs at people, let's hope he can continue in this vein. What did you think at 2-0 down? What was I thinking? I remembered a Manchester City game in the semi-final. And we improved in that game. I was hoping that the same thing might happen as the City game, and we've done even better than that. It wasn't unpredictable. Maybe it was unpredictable to concede too, but we knew we'd be coming under pressure for sure. Yesterday, we said we've got to get over the initial period of pressure and keep calm, keep a cool head, and keep your emotions under control. And we managed to do that, and in that sense, we did. The experienced players help the youngsters a lot in that situation. Karim, Modric, Cruz, even on the bench. Calm. It's a long game. There's still a long way to go. Keep calm. And it all worked out in the end. How do you keep a cool head in that situation? Is it experience? Is it previous victories? Having confidence in the quality that you've got in your team. Realizing that you have to prepare the team to do things strategically well, keep the tactics plain and simple, and get that in their players' heads.
You mentioned how you wanted a different game to the final last year. How much of that was down to facing a different Liverpool this year, and did you notice a big difference between the Liverpool you faced tonight and the one you faced in the final last year, or in your time here as Everton manager as well?
But I have to say honestly that Liverpool is still a fantastic team in my opinion, because they are able to play with an intensity that is difficult to find, above all here at Anfield. I think Liverpool didn't change. Our strategy was different, for sure. We planned to play a different game from the final. The final was a low block and to try to use a counter-attack. Tonight was a little bit different.
Last question, última pregunta. ¿Qué tal, Carlo?
Hi, Carlo. I wanted to ask about the game that Modric had. How did he play? how would you analyse his performance? Like always. Modric is the same old Modric, you know. The best Modric that you can see is always constant, he's consistent, controls the ball well, keeps possession well. I think in those difficult moments, he was the key to us coming out of that tough situation.